I would now like to call on Maysa Hawwash of Doctors Against Genocide to speak.
Thank you so much, Fareed. Good morning. My name is Maysa Hawwash. Days ago, the 18-month-old Jawad Abu Nassar was detained with his father, and while the visible signs on his legs are easy to diagnose and see, I'm here to tell you something fundamental Palestinians know from living it on a daily basis. When you subject a person to torture, they cannot go back to living a normal life. That is, if the conditions for the normal life exist. In Palestine, they do not exist. Not in Gaza, not in the West Bank, and not in East Jerusalem. For decades, Palestinians have lived under apartheid, a legalized ethno-religious domination. Palestinians are subjected to violence at checkpoints, settler pogroms backed by state power, where olive trees are burned, villages raided, elders and children and families attacked and killed. Over 50,000 homes have been demolished since 1967. Our land, water, resources are stolen as standard practice. Palestinians are confined to shrinking enclaves while settlements continue to expand. No right to move, build, plant, or breathe without permits. And then you add torture to that. The UN Special Rapporteur, Francesca Albanese, documents what she calls custodial and non-custodial torture, two blades of the same genocidal machinery. Right now, over 18,500 Palestinians are detained illegally in Israeli torture camps, including 1,500 children. Nearly 100 died in custody, or I should say killed. Our colleagues treated prisoners tortured with rape, electrocution, dogs, starvation, and broken bones, and this is systemic. Children leave prison with lifelong scars, wounds unhealed, trauma haunting sleep and relationships and every aspect of their life. Torture follows them for decades. But non-custodial torture surrounds every Palestinian child, every Palestinian mother, every Palestinian father. Bombardment, displacement, destroyed homes, and manufactured starvation, stunting an entire generation. Albanese states Israel has engineered a torturous environment across all occupied territory. So when torture is systemic and starvation is manufactured and cruelty is codified, that is the machinery of large-scale genocide. In Gaza, over 100,000 children and 37,000 pregnant and breastfeeding women are projected to suffer acute malnutrition through April 2026, through this month. This is engineered starvation through a brutal siege. Starving a child in early years damages their brain development permanently. Palestinian children will grow with learning disabilities, emotional regulation issues for life. Biological scars persist for decades, passing from generation to generation. Disease like diabetes, heart disease, and shortened lifespans are inherited. This torturous environment has also destroyed life itself. Life expectancy in Gaza has fallen by over 30 years, from 7 years before the genocide to approximately 40 years today. A 44% decline in 2023, 47% decline in 2024, equivalent to losing 34 to 36 years of life per person. This is the fastest decline in life expectancy in modern human history, and it is documented. A Palestinian child born today in Gaza can expect to live half as long as they would have 3 years ago. The violence has erased decades of human potential, what researchers today call as the empirical annihilation of decades of human potential. Our colleagues watch a generation's potential destroyed, knowing there is no after for recovery. Environmental poisoning is another dimension of this torturous environment. White phosphorus releases toxins damaging our very genetic code. DNA damage, pass from, generation to generation. Children, they inherit this war legacy in their very biology. And then as Palestinian children, we know that they experience what we call continuous traumatic stress. There is no post stage in this trauma because the trauma never ends. Constant stress records into bodies and passes to next generations. No recovery when the torturous environment never ends. Apartheid, checkpoints, settler violence, demolition, dispossession continues unabated and supported by our own government. Yesterday, the Knesset authorized the execution by hanging for Palestinians, a default punishment, codifying what was already true, that Palestinians' life is disposable. This on top of a system where 3,400 Palestinians are held without charge or legal counsel, indefinitely without evidence or court. The UN has named it. It is a genocide. It's intentional, industrial, irreversible. So will Canada and the world continue doing nothing? Not only that, sending weapons to continue this genocide, or will Canada finally hold Israel accountable? The prescription is simple. Dismantle apartheid, dismantle the occupation, call for a sustained ceasefire, an arms embargo with no loophole, unimpeded access to Palestinians through humanitarian aid, and occupation and accountability for genocide against our future. Every day delayed, another child's future is stalling, and our humanity, our collective humanity, is degraded. There is no normal life to return to in Palestine. Our struggle is to end this genocide and to end this occupation, and to demand that the world finally stands with humanity. Thank you so much.